ask all these damn questions. People always ask all these damn questions. All these damn questions. People always ask all these damn questions.
People always asking me all these damn questions, and they so confused. I don't know what to tell them. Why he do this? Why he do that? How you do this? How you do that? Hell yeah, I'm trying to do what I want, and I get good grades. That's why I wear these hats ways. These people recognize that's why they stay up in my face. Cause
people always ask all these damn questions.
All right. Yeah.
What you know about that, man? What you know about?
Man, what I know about that chopped and screwed, quit playing.
You actually were kind of some of the motivation to like me putting that in that song, believe it or not.
I mean, I'm the most screwed up cat that you know.
Hey,
If
man.
it ain't chopped and screwed, I ain't playing it.
Hey man, I tell you that so that's important for what this demo of Objectively Allied is, believe it or not, because I want to now put on display like all the great people that I know and the great people that are doing.
That's humbling.
And I promise you, and so even that song, people always asking with that little chopped and screwed, like that I even though I knew about chopped and screwed before then, like you put me on chopped.
I lived it.
Right. You know, so slow, loud, and banging, that was a thing. And so with Objectively, Aggressive presents Objectively Allied. Hey, Ant, thanks for being here, man. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the people for what it's worth? Because you don't have a big social presence like a lot of people.
No, I don't. I'm a straight up ghost on the internet, but I'm pretty sure that's like going to change over time. How you doing, people? My name is Anthony Glover. I'm a young entrepreneur trying to make moves out here in Ohio. I was in the military with KJ back in the day. I served 10 years, and then I did another 11 with the federal government. I retired in June 2023. Your boy is a retiree, like the podcast host.
Thank you for your service. Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day.
That's appropriate,
right?
God,
right. And now I'm in the process of getting a legalized marijuana dispensary opened up here in the great state of Ohio. And that's about where I am now. And I'm also a Turo host. I got a little side thing. Hold on for a second, man. My light fell off.
Look. All right, so that's a lot of history in some 20 years. But go ahead, continue. What else? What else you do? Turo?
Yeah. So now I'm a Turo host. I have one vehicle. I got a minivan that is performing almost as well as a small single family rental. So the ways that you can make an extra dollar out here are it's a lot of ways. It's a lot of ways. So that's where I am now. And I'm trying to expand my presence on the internet because as a business owner of Grits CBD and Grits LLC, I need to spread the word to what I'm actually doing and what Grits is about.
Okay, so let's give a sweet serenade to Grits nonprofit. Thank you for doing what you do, man.
Thank you. And GRIT stands for guts, respect, integrity, trust, and service. And everything under the GRITS umbrella will give 1% back to the community that's located in. And that LLC will be called Grits for Kids. And just growing that, right? Just growing the base for that. I'm looking forward to that because there are so many talented individuals out there that are ready to lead, but they don't even know that calling is calling for them. And like I'm going to be looking for them.
Okay, so with that, man,
yeah,
you have a lot of different business things going on, and I want to talk more about that. So where do you feel like you got the power, we'll say, the energy, the motivation to push you towards your purpose?
It just happened. When I first moved out here, my goal was to get into real estate and dominate that. I never thought that I would matriculate into like the marijuana space. Like who thought I would be trying to do that when I came out here for real estate? But when I moved out here, when we moved out here in 2020, the closest dispensary was like 40 minutes away. And I was like, why do I have to drive 45 minutes to get my medicine? You know what I'm saying? I was like, that's crazy.
Right.
And then I went to a trustee meeting out here because like that's how things are done out here in these villages in Ohio. And people that are from Ohio that see that, they already gonna know what it is. When the trustee told me that he had been in place for the past 30 years, this is in 2020, right? I was 40. So that means that when I was 10 years old, he was running Green Township. They were gonna say no. And that's what I ran into. I've been running into a lot of no's. But that's what pushed me into wanting to do it more. Just on that first initial no, I was like, I want to do this.
Okay.
And I've been grinding since like 2020 towards like the meeting I'm getting ready to have here in like 30 minutes.
You know, that's interesting, man, because you're a big no person. Like for real, like you're a big no person. Like you've never really, from my experience, gave a shit about saying no to somebody. Why do you feel like you've always had that ability to be able to cut through the niceties of life and like say no to people like that?
Life ain't fair. I mean, like it's that simple. Life is not fair. And if you say yes to everyone, you're gonna be a broke fool. That's exactly what's gonna happen. So yeah, I've said no. And being a black man, we get told no a lot.
That's true. That's
true. Motivation.
So with that though, you say life's not fair.
It's not.
Okay. But I think a lot of people have that particular mindset, depending, right? Like if you're military serve, you already know that life's not fair. You already know it. And it doesn't matter the branch.
Right.
But I would say this. I feel like
if you come from the Marines,
I feel like the way you've done it though, you've always had a different way of going about it. And when you say life's not fair, like what do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, in life, sometimes you can just have like an easy path to your goals. You know, like you can you have a mom and a dad, they help you go to college, you graduate college, you meet a sweetheart, y'all date, you guys get married, you have kids. You know what I mean? Like you just kind of just go through life, you know, you just kind of go through life. And then other times, like people have different paths, you know, like you're trying to do a thing and it doesn't work. And then you have to like readjust. And then you try to go do that. And then you readjust. So sometimes life isn't always like a straight line. It's meandering. It's a lot of zigs, zags. It can be a lot of curves. And for me, I have found life to be a straight line. Like I am constantly moving forward. So when they told me no in 2020, that set me on the path to finding yeses. And from then to now, 2023, I have found enough yeses to help me have the meeting I'm getting ready to have. That hopefully turns into more yeses. So no's can turn into yeses, depending on perseverance, man. You have to persevere, and you have to have a certain amount of confidence. Like not over humorous. Because I told you at first, like when I got into this endeavor, I was so just confident for all the wrong reasons, you know, so much I just didn't know. And now I recognize the room that I'm in, you know, like I was telling you earlier, when you're in a room full of sharks and you don't realize you dinner, you already ate, you know. So when you realize the caliber of people that you were getting ready to be around and that you plan to do business with, it's eye-opening, you know, and you have to respect where you're at, I believe.
Hey, okay. So what do you feel like in the different perspectives that you've lived in? You say, you know, world's tough, got to get over these obstacles. What has given you the motivation to get past all the different obstacles that's come in your life?
I mean, I guess the belief in myself. I mean, because no one is going to help me get it done. I mean, unless I start a thing that turns into something else. It always, I believe, it always starts with you. Right? You have to do a thing that leads to another thing. Like
It
I
starts
don't,
with an
I don't.
idea.
Right. It starts with an idea. It starts with action. Because
Oh,
imagine, right? Yo, imagine if they had told me in 2020 no, and I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go home now.
wow.
Where would I be?
Yeah, yeah. Well, so let's talk about that then. Let's
Yeah.
let's say through all those trials and tribulations, you figured that no one else was going to do it but you, right? So what's the difference now? Like I would say for my perspective, I've had to put a lot of faith in my abilities, but I also had to give it to something else, right? Like
Team.
I couldn't take it all at the same time. So what's the difference between like
A
taking
team,
all the
sir.
credit and taking all the pressure, and how do you relieve, like what's your pressure valve to be able to
Team.
relieve all that?
I'm gonna keep saying it. Team.
Team.
When I was first like, I'm gonna get this dispensary, I thought that there was so much I could just do by myself. And when I was saying this to people, I didn't realize how naive and how crazy I sounded. And now I know that I need to build the Avengers. And if I'm going to be the Hulk or Thor or whoever I happen to be, I'm going to be a member of a team. And
Okay.
whoever's going to be Tony Stark, that's cool. But I'm going to be there. And us Avengers, we're going to get it together and we're going to make this thing happen. And today's like day one. And it feels, I feel so privileged to be where I'm at right now. It's
So
humbling.
okay, what's the difference between,
Then and now,
I would
I'll,
say now I'm talking about your whole concept of life from, we'll say 20 years when I first met you to now. What's the difference? Like what
oh, so
you
just
tell
that
your old self?
my, well, I guess once again, like the team, like, man, like my wife is the best thing that didn't ever happen to me. Like she helped me get sober. She
What
done
up,
helped
Whit?
me get off cigarettes. Y'all, biggest shout out, attorney Whitney Glover dot Esquire. Go check out her LinkedIn. Like
We were all talking about our humble beginnings, man, and we came, you know, we came from the West Coast for sure.
hey, Whitney was literally shooting in the gym before there was no gym. I mean, yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
hey,
So
no comment, because we used to hang out over there, and I used to come over there,
just say it. Like, yeah, like shit. Half of these books back here are hers.
There you go.
So like I will put back on it because it's earned. But yeah, no, that's the biggest thing. Just the team of family like here helped me become like this, and I know I've helped her the way I've helped her, and she's helped me, and it helped me get to where I am now, and it helped me get to this interview that I'm gonna have later today, and
Yeah,
but
that's
yeah, once again, but team, you know what I'm saying, and it's just a different form of team, you know, like the interpersonal team and then the professional team, two different teams, but to make it work, you can't just do it by yourself. And I mean, having that confidence, you business wise, sure, like if I just wanted to open like a smoke shop, I could do that all by myself. I can be the dude at the cash register. I can set up the orders, and that's cool. But
right.
trying to set up like a multi-million-dollar organization,
Hey, team.
Team.
Objectively allied, the goal is for team is to put out information. If somebody wants to be able to link, like this is what this is for. So the difference between, I would say, then and now is we're older and we're more aware, and hopefully we kept those connections so we can now form like Voltron or whatever the hell we need to keep it moving. Because I would say this, I'm here to help, and I know you are. So let's talk. We're gonna get, so since we're gonna be talking money and stuff. Later, you got some books back there. We're gonna do a money tip and a book tip. But talk about Turo. Show us some stuff, man. Show us what you got. You can share your screen and give us an explanation of what's going down. How about that?
Okay. Let me get the right screen.
All right. And as you're
All right.
doing that, as
All
you're
right,
pulling
boom.
that up, as you're pulling
All right.
that up, we
Uh-huh.
want to. With the goal here, what Objectively Allied is to connect people, but it's also connecting a conceptual framework. Conceptual framework for me would be the squared away L theory, which we're talking light, life, leadership, and love. And so togetherness. And so that's where that team comes in. And so, as Ant goes through this, hopefully it gives us a good sense of how to do
Okay.
things
Here we
better.
go.
So go ahead, man. If you want, you got a good 5 minutes if you want, or you
Okay.
3 to 5, however long you need.
I can kind of make this kind of quick. So this is my Turo vehicle. I have a 2019 minivan. I got it in I got it in December 2020. So right before the new year started. So when the new year started, my first month I made 130,000. Now, I had a very good friend in Austin. They quit their job. They started doing Turo for a time, and they told me that after the first 45 days, the vehicle would be picked up in the algorithm and it will be advertised properly. And you literally can kind of see that. First month, 130, second month, 263, and then it shot up to 867. Um, More details on the vehicle. The vehicle cost $490 per month. That's how much it actually costs, and like the insurance too on me. So pretty much everything after $500 is profit. And we can kind of see here that's where this vehicle pretty much lives. Next month,
So
841. Yeah, go ahead.
how easy is it, do you feel, is to get a vehicle and start working this and flipping this?
All right, so it's about having the right vehicle. Minivans, anything with 3 rows is what you want. This is what you want. You want a vehicle with 3 rows because you want a vehicle that is going to be hauling families and friends. The more people you can put into the vehicle, the more it's going to be gone. And I believe it's going to be a safer vehicle to rent and to have out there. Um, because typically someone renting my minivan, they're not going to be doing donuts in it. They're going to be hauling people somewhere. And as I kind of run through these earnings, you kind of see that it's it pretty much stays gone. So yeah,
I like
Turo.
that. And so, okay, I like that. And I wanted you to be able to kind of walk through that. So so for people, excuse me, let's just say you're starting from the bottom, now you're here.
Right.
And you don't necessarily have access to that much liquid cash, but
Now, okay, go ahead, sir.
okay, but you feel like you want to twerk something, right? You want to like, okay, I want to try to freak something, and I got a little bit of credit, got a little bit of cash. You know what I mean? Maybe I can freak something. Credit score might be about So let's just say 620. No, I'm not giving you
Oh,
shit. I'm
I
just saying.
I think 620. You should be able to get something. Um, I don't know. I don't know exactly where you get it at 620. You may be able to get yourself into a minivan, maybe even a small SUV. Uh, I tend to stay away from vehicles that young people may behave recklessly in.
Got you.
So that's why I have a minivan. Like no Honda Accords, no Honda Civics. Not that they're bad vehicles; they're great vehicles, but that's a vehicle that can get tossed around. And
So this is imperative that people know you should get an LLC.
oh, that part is
So we're
incredibly important,
gonna bypass the whole getting the business part
man.
now, and we'll have another segment. You know what I mean? We'll try to. I'll try. You know, for what it's worth. Well, you remember we're gonna build something anyway. So where we go back and forth, right? So I want
Okay,
you to be a regular because we talked about, and we can. We can end our conversation before you get out of here with the whole
okay,
iPhone versus Android, but we won't. Okay, that's nice.
yeah, and like yeah. It's just,
Nice
this is
enough to be able to be rentable and nobody will dog it out.
simple, and also like it. There's no like Bluetooth. There's no TVs falling off the headrest. There are no TVs
Okay.
in the headrest. It's just a regular minivan, and I think this is kind of like accessible. I don't know, around 620. Probably you could probably go find something roughly like this now with that credit score. Probably, and I think also there's a lot like I think people in general don't realize how much actual credit they have available to themselves to make moves like this
Okay.
because $200 a month in actual profit is almost like having like a little second job.
Hey, I want to pull up, a book. So
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up a book so I can give a book title. I appreciate it, man. That's good information. Do you want people to reach out to you if they
Oh
have
yeah.
questions about
Oh
this stuff?
yeah. Yeah, that's
I'll
fine.
I'll make sure the information's in the podcast description. I have
Yeah.
a book.
Yeah, hit me up on gritcbd at Gmail.
Good stuff. Good stuff. I'm gonna share my screen for the book since we're talking about a little money.
Oh, so we're talking
Yeah.
about books. Oh man, I got a book too though. Where is it at? Oh,
So we're gonna go with the missing school subjects. A beginner's a beginner investor's guide to stocks and overseas emerging economies. Angelo Edwards. It's my
ooh,
cousin.
okay.
And it's really breaking down at you will say a simple level for people to be able to, get the understanding of money because once you start speaking the financial language, things start to sound and move a little different. And so that's my money
They
tip
they do.
and book.
I guess my my book tip is this great thing right here. Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four Volume 1. This is the entire thing. This is like I don't know how many pages is this? A lot. This is a great read. If someone needs something to read, Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four. The whole this people who know, they know. But if you don't know, this is one of the greatest Fantastic Four stories, period. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay, okay. I like that, man. I like that. So
I
we
know
got about
wide
30
ranges.
seconds before we hit 25 minutes. And I think that's a good time to kind of roll through for the demo, man. And I know you got stuff to do.
I
So
do, man. It's crazy. Like I
hey,
actually do.
listen, I'm still rocking the OA. You see it, the Vibe High Club, the OA in the
Yeah.
back. People, show your reverence. Go to oabykj.com. If you know how to spell KJ the other way, that means I really know you, and that means we're really allied objectively. So I would say my final thought, as we as we come around the 25-minute mark, so I would give myself about under a minute to close it out. I appreciate you, man, and I appreciate our relationship throughout the years. I appreciate whooping your behind in fantasy. I appreciate everything that you've taught me just in the human experience, playing Madden, doing all types of stuff,
The
man.
broken controllers. Oh,
Man, I really hope this episode brings light to a lot of things, and I hope it's motivating for you and anybody who watches it.
yeah,
And
right
I
on.
want anybody who remembers you to be able to reach out. And we're gonna kick off this objectively allied thing, and maybe we're gonna roll into 2024 like a beast, man. Allied,
Ooh,
Avengers, everything, man.
I
So
know,
I'm gonna
man.
hit in on this recording, and I wish you nothing but the best. All right,
Hey,
brother.
man, I love you, man.
I love you
I'm
too,
so glad
man.
that we're doing this.
Yes. Peace.